Hey YouTube, this is Unger to the Max here, and the NFL schedule is out. So obviously, we're going to take a look at my hometown team and my favorite team in all of the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, and their schedule. So, let me just share my screen with you. So unfortunately, the Browns on their website didn't come out with the fancy schmancy looking schedule. It's pretty basic, but instead of having 4 primetime games like last season, we only have 2. And that's week 2, Thursday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals. That is the Browns' home opener. And the other one is week 14 at home against the Baltimore Ratbirds. So both the Browns' primetime games this season, will be at home. And like I said, Thursday night is the home opener against Cincinnati because week 1 we are at Baltimore, and week 14 will be a Monday night game against Baltimore. So some other games that stand out to me. Week 5 against Indianapolis is a 4:30 game. I think that's a little bit interesting. I think week 8 against the Raiders is an interesting game, not because of the timing of when that game happens, or actually, yes, because specifically of this, that it's a 1 o'clock game. That means it's going to be like a 10 a.m. game time for the Raiders. So kind of interesting. And then look at this stretch. At the Giants and then at the Jets. The Jets game is either going to be December 26th or December 27th. We'll see. So I will definitely, or most likely I should say, be doing a video with fellow YouTuber and a huge New York Jets fan, Gangrene David. So can't wait for that. Other games that stand out to me are week 4 at Dallas. I thought maybe the Browns would be on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys, but no. The NFL decided not to do that, and instead the Cowboys will host Washington for Thanksgiving this season. Week 12 at Jacksonville could be a tricky game, but as you can see, it goes at Baltimore, home against Cincinnati Thursday night, home against Washington, at Dallas, home against Indianapolis, at Pittsburgh, and then at Cincinnati, home against the Raiders, bye week for week 9, Houston Texans in week 10, Philadelphia in week 11. I thought this game right here in week 11 against Philadelphia, I thought maybe that game could be a Sunday night game. I'm a little bit surprised it's not, actually. Week 12 at Jacksonville. I like that the game in Jacksonville is late in the season. That way we don't have to deal with the heat that comes with playing in Jacksonville. Week 13 at Tennessee. That's going to be an extremely tough game. But you know the Browns are going to want revenge for the 43-13 beatdown that the Titans put on them. And then, like I said, week 14, Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. Week 15 and week 16, we do the New York two-step as we play at the Giants and then at the Jets. And then we finish off the season, week 17, at home against the Steelers. So it's an interesting schedule, I think. So, couple surprising games. Let me show you again. I think the most surprising game for me is, or at least one of the most surprising games, is the week 11 Eagles game, because I thought maybe Baker Mayfield against Carson Wentz. I thought the NFL would say, let's make that a Sunday night game. I really did. I thought the Houston game was going to be a Monday night game because it just sounds like a good battle between Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield, but it is what it is. You never know, though. Some of the Browns' late Sunday games could get flexed into Sunday Night Football if it turns into a big matchup. So you never know. But overall, it seems like a pretty easy schedule. Although with the Browns, I can't really say anything's easy that too much. But just looking at it, I saw an interesting stat earlier, which is that Browns have one of the easiest schedules in the league. I think they were only behind the Ravens, Steelers, and the Cowboys. Which I might try and reach out to my friend Brendan Ward, who is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and see if he would be interested in coming on the show and previewing that Week 4 game when the Browns travel to Arlington to take on the Dallas Cowboys. And like I said, I will be bringing my friend Joe onto the channel, and we will be discussing the Carolina Panthers schedule and other various stuff having to do with the Panthers. I'm also going to bring my friend Ethan onto the show, and we're going to do a whole show dedicated to the Green Bay Packers. We're going to take a look at their schedule. But here's the thing. I'm not planning on going through each team's schedule and going, oh, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win. No. What we're going to do is look at each team's schedule and decide, oh, that's going to be an intriguing game, or I think this could be a sneaky good game, or maybe this game late in the season gets flexed into Sunday Night Football, that type of thing. But in addition to looking at the Browns schedule, there's one other team's schedule that I would like to show you, and that is the Buffalo Bills, because they have a very interesting schedule. So let me just pull it up here, and I will share my screen with you right now. All right. Here is the Bills' schedule. You can see they have a very nice website. But here is the Bills' schedule. They open up at home against the Jets. And then week 2, they're at the Dolphins. Week 3, they're home against the Rams. That is a 1 o'clock game, which I think really favors the Bills because, for the Rams, that's like a 10 a.m. start time. And then week 4, they're at the Las Vegas Rams. Week 5 at the Titans. I am very upset about this game. I wanted this to be a primetime game. I thought for sure the NFL would do that because the Bills made it to the playoffs last season. The Titans made it to the AFC Championship. Both teams I think are going to make the playoffs as division winners. So I thought the NFL would potentially take advantage of that and make the Bills host Bills at Titans a primetime game, but they didn't. But here's the game I'm really interested in for the Bills schedule. Right here, week 6 at home on Thursday night against the Super Bowl champions. So the Bills are going to be coming off a tough game against a good Titans team. And you're telling me they have to get ready for a complicated Kansas City Chiefs offense on short notice? Good luck. And then week 7 at the Jets. Week 8, they host the Patriots, although not against Tom Brady. It will most likely be Jared Stidham, which I think Jared Stidham is going to be a good quarterback for the Patriots. And the Patriots will still be a tough team. And people are already saying, oh, the Bills are going to win the division. And I know I just said that, but maybe we're jumping the gun a little bit. Because New England has only lost to Buffalo 3 times in their last 22 games, I believe it is. I believe the stat is. And New England still has Belichick. They still have a really good defense. So in order to really take the division, Buffalo has to knock off New England. Let's see if they can do it. Week 9, they host the Seahawks, another 1 o'clock game. And then week 10, they're at Arizona. That could be an interesting game. I could see that maybe getting flexed into Sunday Night Football, but possibly. We'll see. And then week 11 is their bye week. Week 12, they host the Chargers. And then here's another interesting game. And I like that this game is Monday Night Football. Week 13 at the 49ers. I love this matchup. Two great defenses. You have Tre'Davious White, Ed Oliver on one side. On the other side, you have Nick Bosa, Richard Sherman. Who else do the 49ers have? They just drafted Javon Kinlaw to replace DeForest Buckner. So I like that matchup. Week 14, they host the Steelers in Sunday Night Football action, though that game could get flexed out of Sunday Night Football. Week 15, they are at the Denver Broncos. That will either be December 19th or December 20th. We'll see what the NFL decides. I think the NFL missed an opportunity to make that game a primetime game as well. But week 16 at the Patriots, Monday Night Football, could be for the division maybe. Could be. So, interesting game. And then week 17, they finish up at home against the Jets. So, the most intriguing games on the Bills' schedule, in my opinion, are that 2-game stretch, right here, week 5 against at the Titans, and week 6 at home against the Chiefs. And then this little stretch right here, week 9 against the Seahawks, week 10 at the Cardinals, week 12 against the Chargers, and week 13 against the 49ers. That's a tough little stretch. Oh, and you can throw week 14 and week 15 in there. And then week 16, I'm just going to leave separate. So this little stretch right here, going from week 9 to week 15, that's a tough stretch for the Bills. So let's see how they do. So those are my thoughts on the NFL schedule. Before I go, I want to say that I love that the NFL made the Chiefs opener be against the Houston Texans. I mean, the Texans went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs in the regular season. And then during the playoffs, they had a 24-0 lead on the Chiefs, and then which nobody saw coming. And then Kansas City said, or specifically Patrick Mahomes said, hold my beer. Because guess what? The Chiefs would go on to score 7 touchdowns, and they would go on to win that game. But then again, in all 3 of their games, they were trailing by double digits, and they came back and won. But we know that the reason San Francisco blew that lead in the Super Bowl is because Kyle Shanahan decided to stop running the ball because he's an idiot. So that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Unger to the Max, signing off.